Morning car lovers, welcome back. Bobby Freeman here, my friends, and today we're going to be looking at the Volvo XC90, as you can see beautifully represented here in this on this what is a very, very sunny day in southeast London, hence the old sunglasses. Now Volvo have somewhat, or traditionally in the past, have had somewhat of a image problem because they've been associated by certain members of the community with kind of more mature members of society, more mature, people in the evening of their years, people who are generally a little bit kind of perhaps middle age, or as some might say, boring old farts. For example, when I told my mum that I was going to be doing a Volvo, I called her last night, she goes, "Oh, what car are you doing tomorrow?" I said, "A Volvo." She goes, "A Volvo? It's a bit of an old man's car, isn't it?" And now my mum is in her late 60s, so if my mum's considering this as a bit uncool and an old man's car, then there's definitely something wrong with the Volvo image. However, my friends, with these XC90s, or certainly these latest versions, in fact, to be honest, even the first versions of them, I think they kind of started to step away from that boring image. And certainly with this latest kind of version of them, I think this looks very, very striking, very, very sleek, and very, very cool. So, however, I do appreciate, you know, that view that my mum has. So today is going to be kind of an interesting video. Can this latest, you know, these latest sort of Volvo design engineers, can they sort of turn me? Can they bring me round from being a Volvo skeptic, which I think I kind of was, to a Volvo lover? Well, my friends, we're going to bloody well find out. So here we go, let's have a look around it, shall we? Now, as I said, it is a very sunny day today, so I'm going to try, wherever possible, to not cast my shadow onto this rather sleek looking car. Now, this is in a really, really lovely metallic white. I don't know if that's the official name for it, pearlescent white, metallic white, it might even be silver, I don't know, but I think it really, really suits this car, and it looks straight away on first impressions kind of big, imposing, heavy, almost kind of cumbersome brute, but cumbersome but stylish at the same time, if that's at all possible. Classic Volvo front, you know, that with that kind of Volvo emblem in the middle with a line through it. I don't know why they do that. I'm sure there is a reason. I probably should have looked it up. But anyway, I like the front of it. It looks very imposing, kind of mean, a little bit reminiscent, maybe something, a little touch of the Audi Q7 in there, but you know, I think that might be pushing it a little bit. It's very, very unique Swedish styling, I think. And here we go. I'm going to try and get away with just my head on it. I think that's all right. This one, as uncharacteristically for Volvo, has got 22-inch big drug dealer wheels, which look absolutely awesome. They're not going to do much for the ride quality, but certainly look fantastic. And this profile here, I think, is absolutely just beefy and solid and awesome. I like that very much, and those alloys do look very cool. Diamond cut ones as well. I'm doing pretty well with keeping my shadow off it today. It's not rocket science, just stand a bit further away from the from the car. And if you come around the side, this is kind of, you know, it's a bit shadowy around here, but this is where I the part of the car which I think looks the best. These not headlights, I always call them headlights. These rear lights, I love the way they come up the side here. But I remember seeing this for the first time in the XC, I think it was back I saw it in the XC90, and I thought, wow, Volvo have really kind of upped their game, you know. That's kind of the first bit that sprung out to me and made me think, maybe these designers have actually, you know, moved into the 21st century. As we go all the way around the back, it's got kind of a little spoiler on the top there as well, which adds to the design as well. And yeah, it's looking kind of classic Volvo, but sort of dragged into the here and now, and I really, really like that. As you can see, it's got the hybrid. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a little hybrid badge there, because this one is the This one is the hybrid version, which I think is possibly the best option to go for, but we'll come to that later. I reckon. Oh, that's pretty much all we got to see there. Really, you got the little fin aerial on the roof there as well. Nice kind of rails here on the top. I've said before that a functional, oh god, that was an accidental swear word there, I'll try that again. It's got these functional objects, which are the rails on there, but I actually think they kind of add something to a car as well. Certainly, I said this on the Porsche Macan the other day, and the same on the Cayenne. Although they are kind of just there for, you know, practicality, they kind of give a little bit kind of, I don't know, a little bit of something to the car, and I've always kind of liked them. So let's have a look in the boot, shall we? Now, as you can see, this is a 7-seater. The seats in the back are folded down at the moment, but it's a very, very nice space in the back there. So when the seats are up, which you're going to do in a minute, in sort of what I would call, well, in 7-seater mode, you're going to get 320 litres in the normal car, but 260 in the hybrid, obviously because of the battery. But it really is an absolutely enormous looking space, loads of practicality. You've got a 12-volt charger down here as well. You've got loads of little extra little space there for something you could fit in there. I don't know, 6 or 7 king-size Mars. Over here, another little slot here, not actually anything to, well, that's actually a less secure slot. Things might come flying out of there, but I'm sure you could use it for something. Here you have a little hook slash tethering point thing. Now this is quite a nice feature. When you have the seat belts like stop them rattling around, you can actually hook them. Oh, so no, you have to use this thing here. You have to actually hook the seat belt bit onto that bit there, stops it rattling around. Well done, Volvo. And just in case you want to see what the boot looked like with the rear seats up, that's what you get. Not bad, but I think most people will probably have the rear seats down anyway. You've also got a little bit which comes up here for a bit of extra storage space. That could probably, to be honest, this is a hybrid, so you probably want to store your charging equipment under there, but that's very nice. I like that. Slap that back down. No load lip here either, so things can just shoot smoothly in and out of the boot. But generally speaking, I better do the Freeman test, which is to actually get in the boot. And as you can see, I'm extremely happy in here. I could spend up to 6 to 8 hours just resting in here alone with my thoughts. And when it's in this mode, you get 680 litres, which you can see here. Actually, you can't see here because this is the hybrid. You actually only get 640 litres. However, as you can see, it's still more than enough to hold a fully grown man. So on the inside, as you'd expect with Volvo, it's extremely wonderfully brilliant quality. Just look, I'm just going to give you a nice pan around the cockpit here. It just oozes quality and it just feels so well made. I did think initially the infotainment system here looked a little bit childish with these great big icons, but actually when you're driving it's really, really handy. It's sort of built with the driver in mind because it's very easy to press. Steering wheel is nice and big and chunky and just really nice to hold. Again, the bit in the middle looks slightly cartoony, slightly Fisher Price, but I'm really kind of splitting hairs there. But look, like in the door cards here, I mean, you've got this, again, lovely soft leather here with a nice white stitching. And then this, I don't even know what material this is. It just looks kind of space age and super cool. Everything just feels very, very sleek and very, very stylish. Digital dash here, which is becoming very prevalent on most of the cars I review now. Looks very, very nice, all the information you need. Very, very cool. The only criticism I do have is quite a lot of the controls have gone into the screen now, which seems to be happening more and more. We do have a few buttons down here, you know, sort of skip and pause, just various stuff for the playing the music, and then obviously the heated windscreen and the hazard lights over here. But everything else seems to have gone into here, and sometimes that can be a little bit annoying, like things like when I want to, I don't know, turn the heated steering wheel off, I have to press, which is a bit weird, I have to press the seat button and then you can turn the heated steering wheel on or off like that. I'm turning it off at the moment because it's not too cold today, but that's the heated seats as well. I think that things like that needs to be fairly, I really like on the Porsche, they have like a little secret button kind of under there. That works really, really well. So don't really like to be doing that. Same with the drive modes. If I want to go into different drive modes, you have to go, so I have to, first of all, swipe that way, go into drive modes there, and then I get the options here, which is only a couple of menus, admittedly, but I just think that sort of thing should be readily available. I just like a few more buttons in here. I'd like to possibly even on the steering wheel. I think the drive mode should always be on the steering wheel because let's face it, you're going to be, you know, possibly shifting them while you're actually driving. So I don't like the way they're putting stuff more and more onto the screen. However, it does have a nice home button like the old iPhones there. I think that's really, really nice. And then what have you got over here? Yeah, and you've got all your different radio settings. Now, this also has a lot of Google technology in here as well, as you can see. And it's got Google Search and it's got Google Maps actually built into the system, which is really, really good. And you can even connect it to your Google Home or Nest or whatever it's called, and you can say to your Google, Google, heat up my Volvo, and it will heat it up for you automatically, which is very, very nice and very welcome on a freezing cold morning, especially if you live in Sweden, I imagine. So then as we pan down to the center console here, look at this. It's just a thing of beauty. You've got this lovely kind of, again, weird sort of aluminium-y kind of textured-y, I don't know exactly what it is, and then you can slide that back obviously like this, all the way back. You've got, well, on some models you do get wireless charging here. This one hasn't got it. It's got the 12-volt charger there. Water bottle holder here. Have I got a water bottle to demonstrate this for you? Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to fertile around in my bag. Where the hell is it? I'll show you some fertile. This is live fertiling on YouTube. You don't get this sort of thing on other YouTube channels, do you? Anyway, there it is. Right, whack my water bottle in there. Okay, you might think, well, that fits quite well. However, look at this. It's very, very loose and can easily kind of get, I don't know if it would go all the way over, but I just think when you're driving along, that's not very good. But you might think to yourself, well, there's a smaller one there. Why not whack it in there? Well, you can do, but still, I don't think that's particularly great. I'm probably spending more time on this than I sort of really ought to, but God damn it, it annoys me. In fact, I pointed this out to my wife last night. I said, look at this terrible cup holder technology. Look, it could fall over, And she looked at me like I just farted and said, seriously, you need to, if that's the biggest problem in your life, you're doing pretty well. And then over here, you've got the parking option there, and then the parking button there for a parking option. Parking is optional, by the way, on these cars, but you can park or not park. Mind you, if you weren't parking, I don't know exactly what you'd be doing. Driving, I suppose. Nice armrest there. My arm is sufficiently rested. Let's have a look in the old cubby hole under there. Now this is a little bit disappointing. There's not much space at all. Not only is it quite sort of not much room that way, it's not very deep either. I mean, you'd struggle to get a decent sandwich in there. You might have to cut it slightly and to utilise this bit of an area here. You do get two USB, just feeling them. I don't think they're USB-Cs. I think they're normal USBs, which is very, very nice. But generally speaking, slightly disappointing there from the Swedes. However, what is not disappointing is the seats, because these are absolutely wonderful. I love these seats. Possibly one of my favourite things about the car. Look at the headrest. It looks very, very cool. It looks like reminds me of one of the droids from Star Wars, but they're kind of a nice combination of sporty, because you've got these bolsters here and here, but they're also really, really comfortable. These are two-tone leather and Alcantara. Now, you have the bolsters here and here, but you also have them here and here, which I find really, I don't know, I've never experienced that before. It kind of just supports you behind the knees here, and to be honest, I never really felt that I needed supporting behind the knees, but it turns out I did. Now, one thing I'm slightly perplexed about in this car is that it doesn't come in a 3-litre engine. You can only get it in 2-litre versions, which is a little bit weird, and I'm kind of mildly disappointed at that, because I think a big brute of a car like this would really, lend itself to a 3-litre engine. But your options are, you have a diesel engine, which is 235 brake horsepower, and two petrol versions. One is 250, one is 300, and then you've got this one, which is the hybrid, which is 455 when you combine that all together. And they all come as standard with 4-wheel drive, as you probably expect, and an 8-speed automatic gearbox. But by that conclusion there, I think that the hybrid is probably the best one to go for in terms of drive. I haven't driven the other ones, but they just seem to me, with that kind of horsepower and this size of car, slightly underpowered. So here we are in the back of the car, and it's a very, very nice place to be. It kind of continues the theme from the front. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, hang on a minute, Freeman, you're struggling for leg room there. However, have a look at this. It has adjustable seats in the back, so I now have ample leg room. I can do this little thing with my knees, which I like to do. This is absolutely fantastic. I mean, my son was in here the other day. Admittedly, he is only 8, but he had acres of room. I'm a strapping 6-footer, and still I've got at least half an acre of room in here. You don't have much of a hump down here. This is something I really like to focus on my videos, because it really annoys me in my Jaguar XF. I've got a gigantic hump here, and if you get more than 2 people in the back, or someone's got to crawl over, it really kind of makes for a bit of a nightmare. So they've got a little bit of one, but it does have a rather protective bit there, which I find kind of pleasing. And equally as pleasing are the controls here. They're all sort of dark at the moment because the engine's turned off, but you have climate control stuff here, heated seat stuff here. It comes with heated rear back seats. Rear back seats, that's the same thing. Heated rear seats, heated back seats, whatever you want to call them. You don't get them on the middle seat here, which is rather strange. I don't know why no cars seem to be able to put heated seats in the middle one, except for Tesla, curiously. But anyway, that's very nice. My son, as I say, he's 8 years old, and he absolutely loves having these controls in the back. He was fiddling and farting about with them all night last night. You also get a couple of USBs. Again, they are actually USB-Cs, but I think the other ones were normal USBs. I don't know, but either way, it's some sort of USB. That's oh dear. That's contrary to the usual Swedish build quality. That has actually broken, but I think we'll we'll forgive them that one. Armrest here also for the people in the back. Let's pull that down, rest my arm. How does it look? Does it look rested? Looks pretty rested to me. What's the cup holder situation like? Press that. Oh, that's very nice. However, it does eat into the restfulness of the arm situation. Personally, I like cup holders in the end there, which kind of come out like a drawer. Can't remember if I've done any with that kind of cup holder. But anyway, I think I'm fixating on the cup holders again. Pop that back up. Is that everything about the back? No, not actually. No, you also get these blinds as well, which are very, very nice. If you're particularly prone to getting sunburnt, like I am, you can pop that up and you will remain pale and not red. However, if you do like a bit of sun, you'll be very pleased to see that you do get a optional panoramic roof in this one, and it doesn't actually go all the way to the back. I'm not sure if that classes as a panoramic roof. It doesn't go all the way to the back, and it's also split in the middle, but many of them are. That enables you to open the front bit as well as a sunroof. Slightly tricky controls to do that, I must admit. It took me a while of fiddling around, but I managed to do it in the end. But generally speaking, it does make it very, very nice in the cabin. And as I say, my son absolutely loves looking up at the stars, although we do live in central London, so we couldn't see anything because of all the light pollution. So then here's the big question. How easy is it to get in the back row seat? So we've done this on the what was it, the Land Rover Defender, and it was a little bit tricky. So let's see how we get on with the Volvo. So you just pull that up there and then they kind of slide forward. So that's pretty good. So let me give you like a kind of a POV here. Oh Christ, this is, yeah, I've started off really badly. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Here we go. Hang on, maybe it might be better if you see it that way. No, I'm going to give you the full frontal. Okay, right, yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, 1 foot in, 2 foot in. Okay, yeah, we're looking good. Arse is almost down, twisting my foot around a little bit. There we go. What is happening here? And wow, it's not bad. However, I have got the headrests in the very uncomfortable position, so they stick directly into the neck vertebrae, which is not ideal. I'll push that up. Excellent. So, I mean, that wasn't actually too bad once I got the technique correct. However, we have the small but not insignificant issue of when I pull this seat back. Oh my God, that made a funny noise. Right. Okay. So, ow, oh, foot stuck it a little bit. Let's have a look at the legroom. Do you know what? I'm on a slightly funny angle that way, but that's not too bad at all. I've got about an inch spare there, which I was not expecting. Admittedly, I have got that seat pushed slightly forward, but I mean, look, my feet can't really, well, hang on. Ah, that's better. You know what? I tell you what, I was expecting to make this little bit of the video all kind of negative about how it's kind of squashed in here. I've seen a few other people's reviews when they don't really think a fully grown man could travel far in this, but you know what? I think I could. I think I could travel around very comfortably. Well, not very comfortably, but definitely comfortably. Now, just for a bit of fun, let's see what the getting out is like. I think you'd develop a technique for this sort of thing after a while, but not too bad. Grab onto the door, 1 foot out, do a bit of a twist. Ooh, it's quite far down. Not too bad. I like it. All in all, very, very good. So out on the road now, and the first thing that kind of strikes me is, you know, I talked about it being really cumbersome and, well, looking very cumbersome, looking very heavy in the introduction. Well, you don't get a sense of that at all. It feels extraordinarily light. It feels like a helium-filled balloon. It just wafts along effortlessly, and the steering wheel is just, the steering is so light. It's just an absolute ease to drive. Would I say a joy to drive? Depends on what your priorities are, but it's certainly very, very easy. Just feels very user-friendly. The steering is light, but it's also, there's kind of a preciseness to it as well. You stick it into a corner. There is a little bit of body roll, as I say, because there's no, although it doesn't feel like a heavy car, there's no getting away from the fact it actually is a heavy car. But I'm just putting it into a bit of a corner on a roundabout at the moment. It's a little bit, but not as much as you would imagine. And as I say, for the weight of this car, it's pretty damn good, really. Just come onto a slip road now. I'm going to floor it and see what it does. Tell you what, not bad at all. It's not what you'd call quick, but it's certainly, you get a sense of power there. I don't think you're going to be doing any exciting overtakes on country road on this, but I think for the majority of people that drive this, it's certainly going to be enough. Now this one's got air suspension, so it wafts along very nicely, extremely smooth ride. It's probably not helped by those 22-inch alloys. It would be even smoother, but even, oh, I've just got a sense of that lane change assist as well. It gives you a little bit of a nudge as you sort of drift onto the white line, and if you hold it there, it'll actually vibrate the steering wheel. Driving position is nice and high up as you want in one of these big SUVs. It's kind of, I do like driving SUVs, I must say, as I'm getting on. I mean, my wife is pushing me more and more towards getting an SUV. We've got a Jaguar XF at the moment, which is brilliant, but I am in the market for an SUV, so although it doesn't know it, this Volvo, it is actually vying for my own personal purchase. Now we're on the A2 here, which is a kind of a dual carriageway heading into London, so it's kind of simulated a little bit like a motorway, and it's just it's a very relaxing car to drive. I feel like I could just point this thing towards Scotland and just boom, be there in the blink of an eye. It's very, very comfortable. I could just drive this thing forever. Another thing a lot of people are going to be concerned about in this car is the what's the road noise like, and it's very quiet. There must be a hell of a lot of insulation between me and the engine and me and the outside, because there's a sort of a very faint hiss at very best, I would say. So if you are concerned about road noise, I am in my early 40s now, so I'm starting to get concerned about it. I never even entered my sphere of concern before, but I am starting to think about it now. But if you are concerned about that, you don't need to worry about this car, because it's extremely quiet. So guys, at the beginning of the video, I said to you, this is going to be an interesting one, because can this car turn the tide in the world of me and make me actually want to get a Volvo? Because I have not fallen foul so much, but I have been of the mindset of, could I really drive a Volvo? Are people going to, think I'm a boring old fart? Well, I have to say, it's a real tough one, because, on the face of it, this car is lovely. It's very stylish. It's extremely well thought out. I love the design side. The drive is stupendous. It's got acres of room in the back. It kind of ticks every single box for a car that I would want right now. As I said, particularly as my wife is pressuring me to get an SUV, I need to get some sort of SUV. Range Rovers are kind of out the question because they're people keep stealing them and the insurance has gone crazy. So it's a real tough one, but this is definitely going to be a contender. Has it turned me over? Has it sort of completely changed my perspective of a Volvo in terms of looking like an old fart if you drive one? If you're going to push me for a definitive answer on this, I'd have to say yes, because I think this is possibly going to be very near the top of my choices of car when I change it. And I tell you what, for me, that is extremely high praise indeed for a Volvo. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. It was great fun making it for you. It's been a real sort of a journey of transformation for myself, transformation and discovery. If you not to be confused with the Land Rover Discovery, but if you enjoy watching it as well, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click the little like button on the video so people know that you like it. And if you want to support the show, then head over to the Patreon page or click the join button below this video to become a YouTube member. But until next time, guys, I am Bobby Freeman. Drive safe.